Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Brad and CeLynn from Wild and Outdoors, and this week we just spent 2 weeks in North Cascades.
Which was awesome.
It was amazing, yeah. So stay tuned to check it out.
I found this campground called Skagit River RV Campground, which was just about as close as you can possibly be to the park. Literally a few minute drive down the road and you're seeing the sign, "Welcome to North Cascades National Park." We stayed on the west side of the park. You can stay on either side, but this side, it just was closer to some of the hikes that I wanted to do. So that's why we chose that area, and it's also not far from Mount Baker Wilderness, which we actually didn't end up going to, but still really pretty if you were there and want to check it out. But I think it was a really great location. It was pretty central to a lot of the stuff that we wanted to do.
Yeah, location was awesome. The campground itself is definitely smaller than some of the other places we've been to, but the camp hosts, very, very friendly.
Yeah.
Pretty accommodating. It was funny when we actually pulled in, they were like, "Oh yeah, and check out the sign and see what else we have to sell." And it was like written in like whiteboard or Sharpie.
Firewood.
Yeah, firewood, and then they had soda or ice cream sandwiches for $1. So then they like come over and they're like, "Yeah, so you're gonna have to come back and get an ice cream sandwich and bring your ladies on a date." Because Steven and Aaron were still with us. So sure enough, we came back that same night or the night after and
got some ice cream
brought our ladies on a date for a $1 ice cream sandwich.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at that campground, like I said, it's a lot smaller. I think they had like, I don't know, no more than 30 sites maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that.
A lot of tent camping and rental vans and stuff. I think we're on like the bigger side, unless you have one of the sites down the center that's a pull-through site. Right. We're on the bigger side of what you want to be going in there. We're about 35 feet.
They've also got laundry facility there. I think it was like $2 a load, so it's really
cheap
not that
laundry.
bad. This place is definitely more location based.
They have their own like whitewater rafting company too. So it's right basically across the road from the Skagit River, which is so beautiful. It's this blue turquoisey green color, but so cold. We decided to swim in it one day after hiking and it is chilly.
So we got there, unloaded. That was a bit of a rest day for us. They were champs and kept hiking.
Yeah, they went and did Cascade Pass, which we'll talk about because we ended up doing it a week after they left. Right. Which, 10 out of 10 hike. Yeah,
so they had only been with us for 3 days at this point, and that would have put them close to 30 miles.
Yeah. Sunday was our first day in North Cascades, and weather was looking gorgeous. So we decided, you know, we're going to do one of the bigger hikes, and this one was about an hour from the campsite. It was one of the further ones on the other side of the park, and it's called Maple Pass, and we decided to do, Maple Pass can be done as an out and back or as a loop. I think the loop is like 6.5 miles, and we decided to tack on either Lewis or Wing Lake if we were feeling really good. We didn't make it to Wing Lake, but we made it to Lewis Lake. And so we did kind of the loop, went out and back, and then finished our loop. And it was about 10 miles.
Yeah.
And it
quite
was
a bit of gain.
Yeah. It's one of the most like famous hikes in the park, and for good reason. Because basically you go up some switchbacks, and all of a sudden you start seeing more and more views, and then you're on like this, it's basically like alpine fields. You're looking down over some lakes and just really gorgeous trail. Yeah. And once you get to the top of Maple Pass, you're looking down, and the trail, you just look at it, it goes like zigzagging all the way down. It's cool.
We also went clockwise. A lot of other people went counterclockwise on the loop.
If you're gonna add on Wing Lake, I liked doing it clockwise.
So if you're there just to do the loop, because the loop itself isn't that difficult, it might seem daunting, but
it's
with the switchbacks, there's no section that's like really, really steep. And we went up the steeper side going clockwise. A lot of other people went counterclockwise, and by the time they got to the top, I don't know, they seemed like they were out of breath, or like, "Oh my goodness, we finally made it." Yeah. And a lot of people were saying, "Oh, I guess we should have gone the way that you went." So if you guys do go, consider going clockwise. And if you go clockwise, start early, just because it is, I think that's why I think the other side is more shaded for most of the way up. So it keeps people in the shade, and then you can kind of descend with the views and being more exposed. But if you do it clockwise, I think start early, because it probably would get pretty hot. because there is a good portion above tree line. I mean, I would say get there early anyways, because the parking lot
it's a busy one.
pretty quick, and there's not a ton of parking. I mean, it's like little
Yeah.
pockets of like 4 cars here, 4 cars there. But there was a ton of people on the road when we got done.
Yeah. So Maple Pass, really beautiful. There was still some snow patches, but really not much.
Yeah, just
And-
one that we played What Are the Odds with CeLynn, and she lost and had to do a snow angel.
Yeah, which actually felt good because it was pretty hot that day.
Yeah.
And then we went out to Lewis Lake, and this was like kind of funny because it's a lot of rock fields. So this is not at all like the loop trail, which is
Right.
all like dirt, smooth, switchback.
This is an add-on if you want.
Yeah, this is like a lot more rough, scrambly over rocks, boulders for a good portion, like over half mile.
If not more, yeah.
Yeah, and then you start seeing more and more of Lewis Lake, and beautiful color, just gorgeous.
Just want to say, be careful if you decide to do it though, because it's really easy when you're that far into a hike to just go downhill. And to get to this lake, you do have to go down quite a bit, and you go up a little bit, but that means when you're done at the lake and you're hiking out, you have quite a ways to go back up.
Yeah.
So if you're already tired, just keep that in mind. Don't put yourself in a situation where it's easy getting there, but it's very difficult to get out because you're tired.
Right. And so all of us, we were getting really hot because the sun was getting kind of high up at that point, and we were like, wow, look at that lake, it's gorgeous. We're just gonna like sit at the lake, maybe swim, jump in, have a snack, drink water, just like chill out for a while because we got an early start, so it was only like noon. And we get over there and we're like, wow, this is so beautiful. Brad and I go down to the water, Steven there, and find a nice rock to sit on to start eating some snacks.
I'm stripping down, getting ready to jump in. I look back at Steven and Aaron. They got their rain jackets on. I was like, what's happening over there?
Yeah.
They're like fanning each other.
I was like, oh, like, is it
And then all
bugs?
of a sudden
I
we
don't-
realize, yeah, the flies.
The mosquitoes came out
Ooh.
of nowhere,
Yeah.
and there were like thousands. Like, it was just like swarms of them, and they were
Yep.
insane. I've never seen bugs like that. It was unreal.
So I had jumped in the water and I was still dripping wet.
Yeah,
and
you
I think
dove
that's
in.
why the bugs weren't bothering me.
I don't do well with cold water, so I have to wade in because I'm scared of like jumping in, losing my breath. I don't handle shock, like cold water shock, well. So I was like, I'm just gonna wade in, but I was like, I'll take my shirt off, I'll just go in my shorts and sports bra. So I took my shirt off and I'm like slowly trying to walk in the water, but I can't walk that fast because it's all sharp rock, so I'm like trying to find my footing. I didn't even make it 5 feet from the shore, and I'm like, there's a lot of bugs, I think, that are biting me. Like, they're just all over me, they're on my arms, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm like yelling at Brad, I'm like, you need to put bug spray on my back. And I get over there, and you like wiped mosquitoes all off my back. You put the bug spray on, and then I like kind of got wet and stuff, and then sat down, and all of a sudden my back was like so itchy, and I was like, am I having like an allergic reaction to the bug spray? Like, what's going on? And so you looked at my back, and it was just like welts everywhere. So relaxing at the lake did not happen.
No, so if you're gonna go,
It was brutal.
if you're gonna go in July and August, be prepared for the bugs.
Lots of bug
Have
spray.
a bug net if you need it.
I would have loved a bug net. That would
Bug
have been great.
spray,
Long sleeve pants.
Yeah, or you're not
yeah.
gonna be hanging out for too long.
No. So it was a gorgeous lake, but we did not spend any time there. We just took some photos.
Yeah.
After that experience, we're like, okay, we're gonna keep moving and we'll snack as we walk, because when you're walking, they weren't bad at all. There was a little bit of a breeze, but not much.
Yeah.
But as soon as you stopped, they were horrendous.
Yeah.
So learned
Quite
our
a
lesson
tease
there.
to get all the way there, see something so
Yeah.
beautiful, have bugs send you away.
Yeah, and we were the only ones there.
I still think it was worth it.
It was still really beautiful, yeah. And if we had been more prepared, I definitely would still do it again and hang out there a little bit longer. But
Yeah.
another day after work, after our company had headed out, we decided to do a few little mini trails that are in the Cascades. And I think that's one of the reasons it's less visited, is because in order to see some of the real incredible sights, you have to do some hiking, like several miles in hiking. So these were the 3 like smaller trails that we are more like touristy, visitor, like stop, get out of your car, check out, get back in and go. We did Gorge Creek Overlook, which was a little loop, and you're looking over the dammed area of the Skagit River. I'm not sure, but it's really colorful water. Pretty but short little loop. And then we did Trail of the Cedars. That one was nice. That one you go over the river on this bridge, and then you walk through basically a cedar forest, really, and they have little interpretive signs that are nice to read. And then the third one we did was Ladder Creek Falls, which that was a pretty waterfall. And again, short, there's pretty limited parking for that one. But you basically go over this, I don't know if it's a trestle bridge. It was pretty bouncy.
Yeah.
And get to the other side, you go up to like some stairs, and there's a couple waterfalls, and that was nice.
That one was cool.
Yeah.
And it's like right there from the parking lot. It's not a far hike at all.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call it a hike. I would say you're just walking across the bridge and then up some stairs.
Right.
Definitely worth that.
Yeah.
Stop.
And then another popular one we did is Blue Lake Trail, which was another gorgeous alpine lake that was very blue, colorful. We did it in the afternoon, so it wasn't quite as vibrant. So I think it's one that you want to do in the morning or midday. That was the only lake I took a dip in, and it was cold. And I think it was like the warmest of lakes that you took a dip in or waded into.
Right.
And there was one lone mountain goat up there, which actually, well, and then we ran into some on the trail down with one with a baby, and it just would not leave the trail. So we were just like waiting and waiting and following it and waiting. But yeah, that was a really nice one. It's a popular one, so parking was kind of crazy.
Ton of parking along the main highway road.
Plenty of parking. But I think a lot of people go to that one just because it's shorter and you can swim in it. There's a few areas where you can just walk right into the water.
Yeah. So we saved the best for last. It was the last hike that we did here. It was Cascade Pass.
And Sahale Arm Trail.
Sure, we'll go with that. It'll be in the description.
Yeah.
But how many miles in elevation gain did that end up being?
13?
There's quite a lot of elevation too.
It was 13 miles, but 1 mile of that was walking to our truck. It was a half mile there.
Half mile
and a half mile back. So it was about 12 miles.
Yeah.
And 4,000 feet of gain.
It was definitely up there.
Yeah.
It was well over 3,000 for sure.
Yeah.
But anyways,
it was a tough one, but well worth it.
Yeah. We tried to get there pretty early, but it wasn't early enough.
We were there by like 8.
And the parking lot at the top was already full. People were having to park along the road, but it's very spotty parking because it's very narrow and there's a drop off to one side. So highly recommend that you do get there early. We parked, like CeLynn said, maybe about a half-ish mile from the trailhead. And yeah, I mean, the beginning, it's all switchbacks.
So gradual.
Most of the way up, very, very gradual, very easy.
I think I read somewhere it's like 35 switchbacks. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
But again, so gradual. It's like you gain elevation like nothing.
Yeah, I think it was almost half the elevation gain.
Yeah, I think so.
Once the switchbacks end, that's where you're kind of out of the trees. You can see further. You can see some of the surrounding mountains. And you come out to this overlook. Actually, before you get to the overlook, there's it's like a rock slide almost. And there's a lot of pica. Yeah. Is that how you say it? Pica?
Yeah, I think so. Picas?
Yeah, they're like the little rodents with the really big, fluffy ears.
The best way I can describe them is they look like chinchillas without tails, but brown. They have like the big round ears. They're so cute.
They're way cuter.
Yeah.
And they're like running right up and around our feet and then scurrying across the trail.
You'll hear them like squeak really loud.
Yeah, just keep your eye out. They're like this big and they're probably one of the most adorable things you'll see on trail.
Yeah. And these ones were really brave. Like they were running like right at our feet. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Get in my backpack.
So, or right after you get past that, we did have to do a little snow crossing section. I don't know if in a few more weeks it'll be all melted away. Yeah. But you get to this overlook where you can look down into this like valley area, which is pretty cool. It's like a long, narrow valley, tall mountains on the sides. And then you're kind of looking up at where you're going to be going. And it's all exposed from here on out. If you've been to Glacier, the beginning of this hike, when you start getting views, looks a lot like the Highline Trail. Like, it's just huge peaks around you. And it's so beautiful. I nod my head like I've been there. I've never been there. We're going there in a couple weeks. Yeah. So once you get to that overlook, it's a really good spot to take a break. They've got some benches and stuff that you can sit on and catch your breath, grab a snack, fuel up, hydrate, keep going up. And as you start to go up again, there's a few little switchbacks on the way. They're much bigger though. And I would say within 15-20 minutes of that overlook initial one, be prepared to start seeing mountain goats. Yeah. That's when we ran into our first one. In the middle of the trail. In the middle of the trail. People were there before us. They'd been waiting a while, so they tried to walk around. We waited probably another 10 minutes. There was like a line of people behind us.
Intention of moving.
Yeah, and it was trees here that were really dense and a really steep incline on this side. So it's not like we could have just walked around him. You had to like walk out and around that patch of trees. So we got past him. We're like, ooh, this will be cool, because Steven and Aaron had done it a week ago. They said they saw a bunch of mountain goats and kept going up, kept running into more. We saw 2 marmots, I believe.
Yeah.
One of them was really brave. We just sat down and just calmly waited. And as you walk past, his little burrow is literally an inch onto the trail and off was his little burrow. So he would be in there like looking up at you as you kind of walk by. He was cute. He let you go by. We went 20 feet maybe. Yeah. And then just sat and calmly waited, and he got comfortable enough that he came out and started sniffing around.
Laid on a rock to sun himself.
Just posed for us. It was really cool.
It's like when a dog like sploots and they just like, like that's what they do. They just like flatten right out on a rock and take in the sunshine.
And then walked right by us again, and then went on his merry way.
Yeah.
Saw a ton more mountain goats.
Lots of babies.
Baby mountain goats.
And this was just so cool because the
wildflowers.
Views were just insane. And to have the mountain goats in front of those like jagged peaks and like real extended views was just so cool. And I'm so excited about the pictures we got on this hike, because there's probably some of my favorites so far. It's the closest I think I've felt to feeling like I'm in a different country. Like it feels like what I imagine Switzerland or something like that to be like. Like it's just crazy looking.
Yeah, and the wildflowers were in like
flowers.
full bloom. A lot of pinks, some yellows, some whites. Really, really gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then we kept going up, and then it turned from like nice trails to another scree field.
Yeah, but it wasn't super long. It was really the last portion of it to get to the top.
It was like 700 feet or so.
And it was steep, don't get me wrrong, but...
Yeah, I mean, it was tiring for sure, but when you get up there, the views were incredible again.
And you're overlooking, it's Doubtful Lake, or Lake Doubtful, which is another pretty blue alpine lake that's way below you. Right. And then, you just have like the whole mountain range just all around you. And then at the top, it's just like peaks as far as you can see. Yeah. Like it just doesn't end. It was all around like one of the best days we've had of RVing so far, I think, because it was just like gorgeous views, wildlife, just perfect.
Yeah. We went back down, and again,
once again,
our
dually got us in trouble.
Almost got us in trouble. People everybody was parked on one side, and then somebody converted a mini school bus into a camper and decided, hey, let me park on the outside of this corner, overhanging into the already tight 1-lane road. Yeah. Where people are already parked on the other side, taking up some of that room. Yeah. So Mears, again, had to come in. CeLynn had to get out. Barely checking all over. I think we had even less room this time.
Yeah, it was tight.
But again, what do you do in those situations?
That was like, after that one, I was like, we're playing with fire. Like, if we keep going to these trailheads, we're going to get stuck. Because that was 2 times where we had like that much room. Like, it was nuts.
And some of you listening might be like, well, why don't you just park further from the trailhead? Well, we thought about that, but the problem is, it's such a popular trail that I think people were parked even a mile from the trailhead.
You don't know how far down the traffic's gonna go.
And when we got there, I know CeLynn said a half a mile at the beginning, but I think it was less than a half mile from the trailhead we were. So there's no real way to gauge how far do you have to park to be okay with a big vehicle. Right. So yeah, just keep it in mind, if you do got a big vehicle going to these places, try not to get yourself in a pickle like we almost do. But yeah, I think that was definitely one of the top hikes that we've done as well. Especially in this area, I would say number one.
It's so beautiful. Yeah. And I think after that we went home, we showered, and then we went back out we were just outside of Marble Mount, and we went to this little restaurant. I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah, we didn't feel like cooking. Oh boy, what was the name of that restaurant?
It's right there in town. There's literally only 2 restaurants.
It's right next to the USPS. They have a big yellow sign that says restaurant on it.
Yeah, one is something by the river, and it wasn't that one. It was the other one.
Yeah.
And got burgers there. their menu was mostly burgers, and it was a pretty good burger.
They were greasy, but
fries.
oh my god, they were
really good.
They were pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the last activity we did was we decided one day after work, because this past week was almost 90 a few days,
Yes.
was to go paddleboarding on Diablo Lake, which Diablo Lake, incredibly colored. I think it's the most colorful water I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And you can go to one of these, I don't remember the name of it, but there's 2 little campgrounds that are on the west side of the lake, and you can kind of pull off on either side and put in your paddle boards or kayaks there, or people were just there like with easy ups and hanging out on the beach
section.
Yeah,
it was more rocky than like sandy.
And so we put in there and paddled around, and you jumped in. I went up to my waist.
That's so
was the coldest
alpine lakes that I went in, they were cold. And I know a lot of people get shocked and they say like you lose your breath. I never lost my breath.
Yeah.
Diablo Lake,
cold.
Yeah, I jumped in off the paddleboard, had to do it for the gram. But yeah, oh my goodness, that took my breath away. Kid you not.
They say that the water temperature in Diablo rarely gets above 50 degrees. So if you are going to jump in and you're unsure, wear a life jacket. Always have like a life jacket handy, or if in our case we're using our paddle boards, use your leash so you're always attached to the paddle board. Because it's also kind of that part, I don't know if it is a river that's moving out, but there was a current, so we were moving
very
quite a bit.
slight one.
Yeah, so just make sure you're being safe about it, and don't underestimate how cold that water is.
In the area that we were in, though, we did check. I could have stood up if I needed to.
Yeah, it wasn't very deep.
Yeah, it was maybe 4.5 feet deep.
Yeah. But super cool to paddle on water that is that color. It's so neat. I think we did almost all there is to do for hikes that are under 10 miles. In the Cascades there are a lot more trails, but they can be really, really long. So
we say under 10, even though a couple ended up being 13.
Yeah, true, yeah. But like, I don't know, like there are so many more hikes in the park, but it is a haul to get out to a lot of them.
Yeah.
But I would love to return one day and do more hiking in that area, because it was just really incredible and so beautiful. If North Cascades National Park isn't on your bucket list and you're a hiker, it should be, because incredible.
Or if you're a backpacker.
Yeah.
So after seeing everything that we just talked about, you gotta let us know. Why do you think it's the least visited? Because we do not understand why.
It's not that far from Seattle. I don't know. I would imagine more people would go up there, but I'm shocked that people don't.
Right.
But yeah, that was our full 2 weeks, and now we're heading over to Spokane.
Yep.
And we're going to be there for a couple weeks. Brad has to travel for work for one of those weeks.
Yep. Headed to Texas.
And then after that, we're heading to Glacier and Banff for 2 weeks. And then we're making a beeline home to New Hampshire for the fall.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of driving.
It's going to be a lot of driving.
It's like 5 days while trying to work 4 days in between. And yeah. But so we might be a little radio silent for the next week or two. Because like CeLynn said, I'm going to be traveling.
Bit of a break. A little less busy schedule.
Yeah, but just get ready for Glacier and Banff.
Yeah,
because those are gonna be
gonna do a lot more hiking. So.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff we're gonna be checking out at Banff.
Yeah, excited.
Yeah.
All right.
So stay tuned.
See you later.